All right, guys, it's Paulina Jayne here at CRS. I am thrilled to be talking with you.
Oh, I'm so joyed to be here.
Okay, here's the deal. TikTok, girl, your energy on the TikTok is just amazing. If you're not following her, go follow her right now on the TikTok because I just love your energy. I love your kindness.
Thank you.
And I love what you're doing. Of course, of course, your music, but
Thank
just
you.
the real you and the person that you are.
Thank
I
you for
really
saying
appreciate that.
Oh.
So let's talk about your music. You've got a big 2025 ahead of you. Sounds like you're going to be releasing a lot of music. Let's hear
sure
about the
am.
music.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's been such a journey over the last couple of years because I've just been able to spend a lot of time working on this stuff and honestly just spending a lot of time in prayer too about what it is that I am to say.
Yes.
So I've just had a lot of one-on-one time with God, just talking that through. And what I've discovered is my role in this realm is to tell stories about men, women, and humanity, and point back to hope.
Oh,
That's my role.
I absolutely
And
love
in
that.
unconventional ways too, right?
Okay,
Doesn't
yes.
have to look the same as everything that we've known. So,
Right, exactly. Well, I think that country artists, especially now, have a real opportunity to even just show a little bit of God's light.
yes.
It doesn't have to be in your face. It doesn't
Right.
need to be,
Right.
because God is subtle sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I mean, hearing that in your music and knowing that you are a light to reach others with your music. Now, so you've been called what, Dolly Parton Jr.? Is that what we're hearing?
It is so silly. I'm not even kidding you. I stepped off the Bridgestone Arena stage and I walked back into this green room and I'm back there and I'm with do you know the Warren Treaty?
Yes, yes, I love them. Yes.
Okay, so they're squad, they're family,
Yes.
right? So I'm standing back there with them and I'm kind of nervous because I'm like the newbie on the block, right? And there's Ronnie Dunn in the room and he goes, "There's Dolly Parton Jr." And I was like, "Oh no, that's a lot to live up to."
Well, but you're like, but I'll take it,
Yes,
right? It's
yes.
like, all of Dolly Parton. I mean, not to mention the talent, but her being a woman of faith as well.
Yes,
Like
yes.
such an honor, I think.
It's a privilege. It's a total privilege. I'm very grateful that I get to even have just a piece of music that's in this realm. So very thankful.
Absolutely. Well, you look amazing.
Thank
I
you.
can ask you like on a red carpet, who's dressing you today?
Well, funny enough, this jacket that I have on is my mom's. It's 30 years old.
Oh, you're kidding me.
It's a vintage jacket. It's 30 years old.
I love that.
And this little shirt is $10 on Amazon.
Okay, well, there you have it, folks. I mean, isn't it great how style just comes right back?
It's pretty cool.
And I think your mama had some style.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. My mom is way cooler than I've ever been. And than I ever will be.
Oh, that's so awesome. Is your mom still around?
She
Yeah.
is.
Is she coming to your shows and things?
She sure is. She's actually coming down and visit me for a couple days.
Excellent.
This month, so.
And where are y'all from originally?
Michigan.
Michigan. Okay, well, not too
Michigan.
far from Nashville.
Not too far. I started coming down here in high school, so I spent a lot of time here writing with different people. You'll appreciate this. One of the first co-writers I ever had was Shane McAnally, which is insane.
Legendary. Yes,
I mean, it was
absolutely.
Terrifying. Talk about terrifying.
Right.
I'm like,
a little intimidating to walk in that room.
like, what do I have a song to write about? I don't even know anything about life.
So funny.
Yeah.
So, but you've collaborated and written with a lot of #1 songwriters.
Yeah.
J.T. Harding, love that guy.
Oh gosh, he's
He's-
so wonderful.
He's another one to follow on the TikTok.
He's a total character.
He's insane. I
Yes,
love him so much.
Total character. Total character. I've recently been spending a lot of time with Rob Crosby. And
Okay.
Rob, he's got some Martina cuts, some Concrete Angel. I don't know if you remember that
Yes.
song.
Oh,
but
yes.
Very deep guy. And
I love that.
I love getting to write with him because he's so seasoned. He's been around a long time. He knows what he's doing, and I learn every day. Every
Well,
time.
I think that's, I mean, especially as you're working with some of these, top-notch songwriters and just, others in the industry that maybe haven't quite made it yet, but I think there's a learning experience for everybody every time you're with someone, and
Yep.
especially with songwriting in country music because it's about the story, it's about the heart.
Yes.
And I love how y'all get to connect,
Yes.
bring those ideas together. Tell me about like a typical songwriting session with you.
Goodness, well, it's different every time, but I will say that at least with Rob, I typically will come in with the idea and maybe like a verse chorus kind of written.
Right.
And Rob, what he's really good at doing is taking my crazy ideas and then sort of sewing them together with me. So he does a lot of sewing, right? And I love to birth the idea though, because I think the idea is really something that gets founded in just relationship and in prayer and all that good stuff.
Exactly. So do you get those God hits like I do? When I wake up in the morning, I go, oh, there's an idea.
Yep. Totally. All the time. All the time.
Where you're like, oh, where'd that come from? I'm like, oh, well, thanks for that one.
And then there are some where they're not from God. I'm like, oh, that was really stupid.
Well, but you know what? Those kind of things give us all the experience we need, right? To really write those stories and like, tell something. Exactly. That people connect with and they go, oh, I feel that too, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, I'm very grateful for it.
Well, if you're up for it, I like to play a little game.
Okay. What's the game?
It's called Truth or Truth.
Okay.
And I have a little set of cards right here in my back pocket that we do here.
Here we go.
And we just did that one, so we won't do that one again. So we won't repeat. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
Pick any card. Any card. Which one's feeling warm?
I'm gonna go for this one right
that
here.
One feels warm.
Yes.
Okay, good. Great.
Can I look at it?
Absolutely. See
all
what
right.
It says. Let us know.
Truth. What is the worst grade you received for a class in school or college?
Let's hear it, girl.
Okay.
Mess up.
I really have a great story for this.
Okay, good. I love the stories.
So it was my senior year of college.
Okay.
Right? I'm trying to graduate, and I knew I was actually a pretty good student. Okay.
Yes.
I wind up with this opportunity to have a Ford Motor Company sponsorship.
Nice.
Okay? So how did this happen? This comes about because I had started an artist management company.
Okay.
And we got all these dates booked for my artist stuff, and we didn't have a way to get from point A to point B. So I cold called Ford.
Nice. Good
marketing
for you.
director.
Bold. See, you got to have boldness.
And I asked him, I said, do you have any sponsorship opportunities? And he said, well, we do. Why don't you come up to Dearborn, Michigan and give us a presentation?
Well, already.
So the date that he wanted us to come up on was my finals.
Oh, well.
It was during finals.
Here's where lifetime decisions come into play.
So I said, okay, sponsorship from Ford or maybe finishing college with my finals here. I'm going. So I went, I drove up there, we got the sponsorship, and
of course you did.
I initially had an F on those finals, but then my teachers, my professors heard me out and let me take them late.
You're like a little begging for forgiveness afterwards, right?
Yes.
We love forgiveness. We're all about forgiveness.
We are.
And it all worked out in your favor. I love that story.
It did.
I love that story.
Quirky little one. I've done weird things.
You've got good stories. I did see a story, and I want you to retell this story. It was on your TikTok, and this is why I say I love your heart, because you were in line at a coffee shop, Starbucks, something like that. Yep. Tell us that story. You know which one I'm talking about.
I sure do. I was in I was at a little coffee shop here in Nashville called Crema. It's kind of one of those bougie spots, right? People go there for fancy coffee, which I know nothing about. But I was there, and I'm sort of waiting, and I noticed this man in front of me, and he's probably, I would say, if I had to guess, maybe 80, somewhere around there. He's kind of shuffling, he's slow in movement, and I can tell it's hard for him to get his words out. But this woman at the cash register taking his order was so patient and kind and genuine with him that it actually made me stop for a second and say, okay, I got stuff to do today, but this is all going to the wayside because this man just needs a moment. He just needs a moment.
I love it.
Gosh, I've had so many people stop, take a moment for me. And I'm like, wow, I need to return that favor sometimes, huh?
Well, and I think, how wonderful of you to notice that in the moment, because we all get so, like you said, we get so bogged down in our schedules and I got to be somewhere and I got to do something, but to slow down and rather than get upset about it and think about yourself and say, you know what, I recognize that this man needed that moment and what a beautiful thing that she gave him that moment.
Gosh, it was so cool. One of my favorite people on the whole planet, probably the only girl I'll fangirl over, except for Stacey Winans, is Lisa Harper. I don't know if you know her.
Okay, I don't know her.
She's a Bible teacher and preacher.
Okay.
She is the coolest lady around.
Love that.
She is not typical. She is atypical in every fashion. And she talks about how Jesus walks at a 3-mile-per-hour pace.
Oh,
and I just stand there and I'm like, man, sometimes I'd be hitting that thing at 4.5.
Right.
But if I could just pull it back a little bit, maybe I'd see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd notice.
I think that's, of course, the Bible tells us, we should be a little slower, taking a little bit of time, always checking in. What does God have to say about it?
Yeah.
And I want to go at like top notch speed.
Oh, me too. I love
I'm
sprinting.
like, let's go, get it done right now. Let's go. And I think that's a great lesson to really just, recognize we need to slow down sometimes.
It is, yeah, it is. It's cool. She teaches me a lot. She doesn't even know me. I don't know this woman, but
you might at some point. You end up talking to her. You never know.
Yeah.
We're just talking about her, and then it'll end up. We'll meet her in a coffee shop.
Wouldn't that be
right?
cool?
Wouldn't that be cool?
Let me know, Lisa.
Yeah, right. Exactly. If you're listening, yeah. That is so awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time chatting with me. I hope you're having a great CRS.
It's been a hoot.
Yes, and I'm just wishing you all the best in 2025 with all the new music. Make sure you're following Paulina Jayne on all the socials. Get the music, all the things where I really want to push for people to really go and follow y'all, because that really makes a difference. I know
it does. It makes a difference, and aside from that, it puts a face to a name.
Yes.
So we get to know people.
Well, and I think that's the connection is even greater. I mean, people say bad things about social media, but it's like it really does give us an opportunity to get to know the authentic people, rather than just up on that stage.
I just saw a girl who's here. Her name is Emma, and she is a big champion of young girls and artists like me. And she was here at CRS, and I know her face because of Instagram.
See, exactly. You kind of feel like I have like people I follow that I kind of fangirl a little bit, where I'm like, they're just regular people, but they're so amazing.
Totally.
And you feel like you know them.
Totally. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna bash on social media. I'm mildly addicted to TikTok, but
listen, it's fine. We all have the problem.
Right, exactly. Thank you so much, and I'm wishing you a great CRS.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Paulina Jayne.
Hey everybody, I'm Paulina Jayne, and you are watching Up in Country.